Hey guys, giving you an update on the trip that we recently took up to Arendtsville that I think I probably mentioned in a previous video. I don't have the capability at the moment to overlay this with footage or pictures, so this is what you're getting in this one. So you can feel free to, do some work around the house while you listen to this. It won't be too long. So myself, Aunt Kathy, Uncle Ron, and Elaine drove up from South Jersey. My mom was coming back from Kentucky. She met us up there in Arendtsville, and we had a great day. So, Aunt Cheryl, feel free to tune this one out because she had to sit it out, unfortunately. We got up there and met up in Aspers with my mom's cousin Lisa and her mom Karen, who I believe, if I'm correct, is the child of Grandpa Hartman's older sibling. We can flesh out all of the details, or you guys probably already know them. So we met up with them in Aspers and just went over our itinerary for the day. We then drove to a church in Arendtsville, one of the two main churches there in the town, because Vicky Hartman had left a document for us that really just had a bunch of the chronology of the family as far back as I think the 1600s or so. But a lot of the things that I found on Ancestry, all of the hard copy single document that encapsulated all of that was there. So we went there. A really great lady named Kathy let us in. She's super nice. We brought her some L&M donuts, and while the rest of them looked through it, I was chatting with her, and she said a brother-in-law of hers is a Hartman, I believe. So I'm going to follow up with her on that. But we were there for about an hour, looked over that. That was pretty cool. The church has been there a while. I think some Hartmans either are or certainly were members. And I think a few had their funeral services done at that church. After that, we had prearranged to head over to the homestead, the farm on Excelsior, and meet up with Tony, the current owner, who I've mentioned before. So we went there, and he was super generous with his time. We sat out front and talked a little bit, and then he took us inside the house, most of which is still original to, we would imagine, when Solomon and Sarah lived there. You can see the original brick. You could see some of the original wood. Some of the floor is still original. At least one whole room is. It was really cool getting to walk through there. He then took us outside and we looked in the barn, again, the barn that has their names over top when they built it in 1869. And inside the barn, I didn't know this before we went there, there was a beam, and some of these beams me and Uncle Ron were looking at, and you can tell those things are original. They don't look like they have a ton of time left. Some of them you can tell have been replaced, so hopefully the place is sturdy. But on one of the original beams, there are names carved in that says painted by and then repainted by. One is J. Blaine Hartman, who I'll make another video about, but that was Tony's grandfather. That was his Hartman connection. His mom's a Hartman. And through all that, we figured out that Tony, I think, is our fifth cousin. So the farm is still in the family, quite technically, and Tony is a relative of ours. So that was pretty cool. We also took Tony L&M donuts. But the names carved in the beam, really, really amazing to see. We also saw the corn crib where Solomon's son's wife, so Solomon's daughter-in-law, hung herself, which we talked about, Susan Kayacholtz. You can still see the place. It's right there, as with the rest of the barn. Tony tried to get us to adopt some kittens, so if anybody's looking for some kittens, they're up there at the farm. You can go visit, and he will let you take as many as you want off your hands. He was really trying to talk us into it. So we talked with Tony for a bit longer. It was great. We walked around, took more pictures of the property, and after that, we went to I believe next we went to lunch. There's a place called the Thirsty Farmer connected to a barn called the Historic Round Barn that is a part of this company that has an orchard and also has that restaurant. So we went there, bought some fruit, some peaches, some jams, and some other things. It's a really nice place. Then went across the street, or that was after, but we went over there and ate. They have great food and some good ciders. Elaine, if you're into some ciders. I enjoyed them. Elaine unwittingly enjoyed them. After that, we went back to Arendtsville. That was just a little bit southwest of Arendtsville on the Cashtown Road, meaning it was on its way to Cashtown. We went back to Arendtsville and to Greenmount Cemetery, where most all of our relatives are buried. We walked around there, saw the gravestones, and hung out more with Karen and Lisa, and then they had to go home. So after that, we drove a little ways over east of Arendtsville near Floridale to see Mary Widener, Earl's wife, so my great-grandmother, some of your grandmother, to see where her dad's farm was growing up, but there wasn't really anywhere to visit. There were current farms there, and I don't know any of those people yet. So we drove up, saw the area, and drove back. Then we went down into Gettysburg to see the sunset, drove around the battlefield a little bit. Some of it was closed. Found a great spot on the top of the Pennsylvania Monument to see the sunset. It was a beautiful night. Elaine and Kathy hung out with some reenactors who were there in a little tent city. And then after that, we drove into town, stood in line for about an hour at Mr. G's Ice Cream, which is worth it. You can ask everybody in that line if they thought it was worth it, and they will either say yes or they'll be wrong. So that was a good time. Uncle Ron ordered some pizza, and then we got that and headed back. So it was a great trip. We'll make some more. I have some more videos coming on a pile of things. I've got a whole spreadsheet now tracking the ones I want to talk about. I found some new connections through pictures my mom had from Grandpa and Grandmom that we didn't know who they were, and then I was able to take names on the pictures and find them on Ancestry. I'll make a video about that. Some other ancestors that have some really cool stories I've referenced, I'll make videos on that, and a couple other things. So let's keep this one under 7 minutes and my screen time to that. So we had a blast. We're planning on going back, at least I am. I think a few other people are. We can make that a road trip. People can go on their own. I don't care. I mean, I drive out on a whim. So if people want to go, you can let me know. If you want to go and just go by yourself, have at it. It's a cool, beautiful spot. We're going to go back sometime, I think, in the fall, hopefully for the annual Apple Festival that happens just down the street from Tony's spot at the farm. There's like a national Apple Festival there in, I think, the end of September, early October weekends. There's 2 weekends in a row that it's there. And I'm sure that area is going to look gorgeous when the leaves change colors. So I think I'll be up there a few more times this year at least, coordinating with the people up there. Also, one last thing, I sent to as many as I have emails for. The email that I got this week from Vicky, the person Vicky and Sue put me in touch with, who is coordinating next year's Hartman family reunion. It's going to be in Gettysburg, which is super cool. I'm loving that. And it's got a flyer attached. There's a whole planning committee that people get elected to that plan this. So I have it on my calendar already. Check the email or send me your email if you didn't get it. Forward it to any Hartmans you guys know that I don't have a contact for, and anybody who might want to go in the family. I propose that if people want to go up, I'll probably be up there for 2 days or more and take some time on the battlefield, head to the farm, see the whole area. So anybody who wants to go, who wants to tag along is free to. We can figure it out. We've got 7 or 8 months. Actually, probably a little more than that. I think it's in June. But yeah, so that's all I got for today, guys. Have a great time.